I welcome you all to today's session wherein we will be discussing the topic ERPV, which stands for equation, ratio, proportion and variation. Right? So, there are four different areas that we will be not covering all of them today itself, right? We will be covering over series of videos. Right? So, thus please ensure that you watch the video in its entirety, right, in order to understand the concepts, right, the tricks that we will be discussing in several of our videos, right, and do not forget to subscribe, right, us, right, because we will be releasing several other videos in sequence, right. For example, right now we have the first concept, and likewise we will have several other videos wherein we cover the subsequent concepts that comes up in the topic ERPV and other topics, right. Also for greater learning, right, please ensure that you visit our nearest center, right, closest to you, right, particularly if you are interested in cracking CAT or any other competitive exam, right. Please go there, check what courses are running, right, and which course would be suited for you, right, because these days the skills that we are going to learn in this video will be useful in almost all the exams that you have to come across, right. So just keep that in mind, right, and we at Time, right, we are the national leaders, right, with respect to the CAT aspirants, right, particularly, and we had always had the highest number of audited results, right, highest number of call getters, final converts, right. So just remember that, right, and let's get started with the session today. So in today's class, in today's video, I would like to keep it very light, right. Since this is the very first topic that we have, the topic is simple equations. We will not be going too deep, we will not be covering a lot of ground today. We will just try to limit ourselves to only covering two things basically. One is how do we frame equation, second is how do we solve equation, right? Because these two are essential ingredients of any simple equations class, right? How do I frame it, how do I solve it, right? So when you come to simple equations, so I am sure that you are all aware of what exactly an equation looks like, alright. So for example, if you take something like ax plus by is equal to c, so in this equation we say x and y are the variables and a, b and c's are the constants, a and b are called as coefficients, c is called as a constant value. This is the equality sign, right? And besides these, there is also this degree term which is involved. It's a linear equation right now, degree is 1. As I said, we will not get into too much details about it. Today I just want to focus on two things, framing and solving, right? Because framing itself sometimes is a really complicated task. For example, how do I convert a language statement given to me, alright, which is in English, pure English, into mathematics? Right? That would be a challenge sometimes, particularly when the language used is very complicated. For example, if the statement goes like this: the time right now, the time currently is t minutes after 2 p.m. and the time after half an hour, is going to be 3t minutes before 8. So time right now is this, time after half an hour is this. Right? So how do I frame the equation in this case, right? How do I frame the equation? Because right now it is in the form of plain language, or numbers, words are used, sentences are used to provide you with information. But your task doesn't end at reading it. You will have to convert this into some form of equation involving variables, constants and all. And finally, after you frame the equation, your job will also entail solving it, and only then you can say that your job is complete, right? So that means there are two essential parts as I see here: framing the equation and also then solving the equation. We are not going to do this question per se as of now, but I just wanted to impress upon you that framing and solving go hand in hand. The questions are not going to be like this: solve for x. The questions are not going to be like this. They are definitely not like this, because in your competitive exams like CAT and others, right, you will have the additional responsibility of framing the equation also yourself, right. So let's try to focus on that in this video. And let us start by taking up this particular question. What I would suggest you all to do is pause the video at this moment, try out this question yourself, take 1 or 2 minutes time, try it out and then resume watching the video. But here in the video, I'll just continue with the discussion. So the question is, if 5x minus y minus 5z, so this is an equation involving 3 variables, is equal to 18 and 3x plus 2y minus 3z equal to 16, again another equation involving 3 variables, then find the value of x minus y minus z. Please understand, he is not asking you to find the value of x or y or z. He is asking you to find a combination of the variables x minus y minus z, he says. Now, looking at the equations and the way in which they are structured, can we write the first equation as 5 into x minus z, I am taking 5 common, minus y is 18, and second equation again can I take 3 common, is 16. Now let us do one more thing, let us call this x minus z as some other variable k. So this equation changes to 5k minus y equal to 18 and this will be 3k plus 2y equal to 16. Let us try to eliminate y here. So let us multiply the first equation by 2 entirely and add the 2 equations. When you do that, 2 into 5, 10 plus 3, 13k. 2 into minus 1, minus 2y plus 2y cancels out. 2 into 18 is 36, 36 and 16 is 52. If 13k is 52, we can say k will be equal to 52 by 13, which is 4. Will be 4. So we got the value of k. Now we can substitute it back in either of the 2 equations. We can get the value of y also. We know this process, I am sure. See, the first question that I have asked you is a solving based question, right? Here the equations are already given to you, so that additional responsibility was not there. So when you substitute it back, k, the value of k, you will get 3 into 4, 12 plus 2y is equal to 16. So you will get the value of y as 2. So once you get k and y, if you look at the question asked, can I rewrite this as x minus z minus y? X minus z, we put it as k. So the answer is nothing but this k minus y. What is k? 4, y 2. So my answer will be finally 2. So the answer for x minus y minus z will be 2, right? So basically the question that we have taken up here involved of course solving of the variables, but please understand we cannot solve for the value of each variable individually. We cannot find x or y or z. We can find this particular combination. See, had the question been this, find x, we cannot really answer because we only know x minus y, x minus z is 4. We don't know the value of x. Okay. So I hope we are clear with this question. So this is with respect to solving the equation. Now let us take up one more example for this video, wherein we will be covering framing part also, which is I would say even more important than actually solving it. Of course solving is the thing that will give you, that will fetch you marks, but solving will be definitely incorrect if your framing goes wrong, right? So thus you need to focus on framing the right kind of equations also. So for that, I have taken up one question. You can just give it this question a read, pause it, take 3-4 minutes time, try to solve it on your own and then we shall discuss it. But in the class, I will just continue with the discussion. Right. Let us read the question together. It says a shopkeeper sold a certain number of identical toys. The number of toys sold as well as the price of each toy in rupees were 2-digit numbers. By mistake, he reversed the digits of both the number of toys he sold and the price of each toy. As a result, he found that his stock at the end of the day showed 81 items more than it actually was. Find the actual number of toys sold. Now please understand one thing, focus on the last part here. As a result, he found that, focus on this part. What does it mean? he found that his stock at the end of the day showed 81 items more than it actually was. Now, why is it showing 81 items more? Why is there a mistake? Because his inputs were wrong. Because somewhere in the question he said the sales were reported as reverse digits. For example, if the sales was 27, he wrote it as 72. Or vice versa. If the sales was 72, he wrote it as 27, right? So he made a mistake there. On account of that mistake, all right, this error is also creeping in, right? The system is showing 81 items more, whereas there are no extra items. So what do we infer from this is, so to better understand it, let's make use of this numbers. Please notice, let us say at the start of the day, the shopkeeper had 100 toys, right? During the day, he sold some, let's say, I'm just taking a random number, let's say some 63 toys. He sold 63 toys. So that means the stock at the end of the day should have shown how much? 100 minus 63 sold, 37 still remaining in stock. This is what should have actually been shown on the computer. But what's happening? He made a mistake here. So instead of reporting 63 sales, he is reporting 36 sales. So if it is 33, can I say the stock left in the go down still will be 100 minus 36, which is 64. So as you can see, the stock is showing more items than what it actually is. Actually, there are only 37 toys, but the stock due to this error is showing 64 items. How many items more? It is showing 64 minus 37, 27 more. And why is this difference of 27? Because your sales, you have reported it as 27 less. It was 63, you have reported as 36, 27 less, thus your stock is showing 27 more. So the point I want you all to understand is, whatever is the difference in the stock shown is same as the difference in the sales reported and the actual sales. The value that you report to the system and the actual sales that is happening. Difference between these two is same as difference between these two. I hope that is also clear. So after this point is clear, I would like to enter the question that we have here, right? He says that the number of toys sold was a 2-digit number. So let's say the actual toys sold was some XY, a 2-digit number. So that means what will be reported sales? It's going to be YX. And as we have seen already, difference between the stock shown, for example, he says he found that his stock at the end of the day showed 81 items more than what it actually was. Can I say that 81 should be nothing but difference between these two? And if the stock is showing 81 more, that means, can I say the actual sales should have been higher than the reported sales? For example, actual sales we took it as 63, if you remember the example, but we reported it as 36. So basically we are saying that, oh, I have sold 27 items less. Thus the stock will show 27 items more. So basically when he says the stock showed 81 items more, that means the difference between these two, that is XY minus YX, should be equal to 81. Let me continue there. XY minus YX can be written as what? This is a 2-digit number. X is in tens place, Y is in units place. Y is in tens place, X is in units place. So when you solve this, you will get 9 into X minus 5 will be 81. So hence X minus 5 is 81 by 9, which is 9. Difference of 2 digits is 9 only in one case, which is 9, 0. Thus X is 9 and Y is 0. So if X is 9 and Y is 0, he is asking us find actual number of toys sold. It's only 90. So actually there were 90 toys which were sold. Please notice one more thing. He is also talking about price of each toy, which was also a 2-digit number. We did not even make use of that. So sometimes in your question, you will have some additional data which will not be required, at least for answering that particular question. So please be aware of such additional unrequired data, right? So that you can save some time by not moving in that direction. For example, here one more possibility could have been, okay, let us take the price as AB or something, but that's entirely unnecessary. I hope we are clear with this. So, this question deals particularly with framing of the equation part. Right? So, today we are done with the video here. Today we have done two things essentially. One is solving and the other is framing. I would encourage all of you to practice more of this, right? Because the more you practice, the better you will be with respect to your equation forming and equation solving, right? Please, again, I would like to reiterate, do subscribe, all right, and click on that notification button to get whenever a new video is released by us, you would be getting a notification, right? So that way you can learn even more, right? Here in these videos of around 15-20 minutes, we'll try to cover the basic concepts, right, and we'll try to cover some tricks also as we progress with the course, right? On that note, let me end the session here.